Hey guys, today I've thought about maybe it would be a good idea to let's say that you have an image and you got a MiDaS or LeRes depth map, and there are a few things that are wrong in the depth map. So how do you fix it in let's say Gimp? Because I know Gimp, I don't know much about anything else really. So yes, I'll do the fixing in Gimp, but I'm sure you can do it in Photoshop and the likes. So okay, so what I did is that I took this image, which this is again Jeff Goldblum in his early acting days. I think this comes from one of the Death Wish movies. But anyway, so I went ahead and created a depth map using MiDaS v3. I'm not gonna go through again on how to do it, how to get a depth map using MiDaS. So I'll probably put a link to the video where I explain how to do it. So it will show up on a tab in the upper part somewhere here. Okay, so let's see the depth map I got. So this depth map, it's not exactly what MiDaS outputs. What I did is that I scaled it to the so that it matches the size of the image. I also made it grayscale or desaturate. And what else did I do? I fixed the level so that everything is between 0 and 255. And what else I did? I did filters and ends symmetric nearest neighbor 2 or 3 times, just to sharpen the boundaries, the object boundaries. So that's all I did. So that's what we got. So you can already tell that there are a few things wrong just by looking at it. I think this is okay. This is okay. I think the background is okay. The problems are here. This thing here, there's like a fence, a bit of a fence, and there's some kind of pillar, and they are the wrong depth. Yeah, because right now they look to be behind this guy, which is completely wrong. So that has to be fixed. This guy also is wrong. I don't know why this is deeper in the scene. That shouldn't be. So that's also wrong. So what you can do, and what you can do is do a Facebook post, only visible to you, and see what's wrong. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so I just created a 3D post, so that's only visible to me. And now you can see, so Jeffo is okay, this guy looks okay, and you can clearly see that something is wrong with the pillar and the gate, as suspected. And you can also see that something is wrong with this guy left shoulder. It's way too deep here. Oops. Okay. I mean, beside that, I think it looks good. Okay, so I'm going to show you another way to check the quality of the depth map. So here I'm using depthplayer.ugocapital.com. I'll put the link in the description, of course. So what you do is that you put your reference image, the depth image, create model, and right away I switch to point cloud here. Okay, so here we can see, I mean, this guy, which is in the foreground, which is the most in the foreground, it's a bit like alien-like, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. So you don't have to do anything about it. There's nothing you should do about it. It's fine. But let's look at the hold on. Okay, so we can see that the pillar is wrong, the gate is wrong, it's way too deep, and we can clearly see that this is wrong. Okay, that shoulder. Other than that, it looks pretty good. So I think that's all I'm gonna worry about. So now let's go into Gimp and see about fixing that stuff. Okay, so I'm back into Gimp. It's all about selection. So you need to know about doing selection, which is basically this tool. So let me zoom in. Let's start with the gate. Okay, so this guy, the gate here, and I don't know, this is part of the gate probably. So let me make a selection. So make sure you're gonna do the selection on the depth map, but looking at the image. So let's do it. Okay, so left click. It doesn't have to be too precise. Okay, so left click, left click, left click, left click. Okay, so I'm gonna include that thing, that plate. I don't know if it's correct or not, doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's the gate, and you go over the first one to close it. So that's your selection. Now, what I like to do is actually save the selection as a path. And now I have to remember to do this. Yeah, to path. Selection to path. Okay, so it's here. So it's in this guy is all the paths, all your paths. So I need to rename it to something useful. So I'm gonna say fence. What's cool about the, and yeah, you can see it. Just turn it off. What's cool about doing that is that in case you need to redo that very same selection, you can just grab your path and transform the path into a selection. It's like a way of saving your selection. Okay, so okay, so now I'm gonna change the, let's look at the depth map. So I want it to be a little bit behind this guy. So let's look. So he's at 228. So I'm gonna change. He's at 228. I'm just gonna put it a little bit behind. Doesn't matter what you use. 200. So that's the value between 0 and 255. So 0 is pure black, 255 is pure white. Here I'm just going a little bit behind. So this is my my grayscale value I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna now use the bucket fill all selection in case it's not fill all selection, and you just click on it. Okay, so that's my fence. Now I have to do the pillar. For the pillar, so select, let's get rid of the selection. Okay, so let's continue. So now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna select the front face of the pillar. So this thing here, without selecting the piece of the fence. So I'm gonna try to be smart here. So let's go back to the path. So that's the fence. So I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna do a path to selection. So that's gonna be a selection now. But now I need to invert it. So let's invert. And now I need to select like a rectangle, and intersect with the current selection. So also when I do my selection, I don't know if it's I don't think it's default, but I don't do any anti-aliasing, and I don't feather edges. I don't think it matters much, but okay, so let's do the selection. Oh, hold on, so it's and I do this one, the intersect. Okay, intersect. So you just do a square. Okay, so now I still need to okay, hold on. So this is my depth map, the depth map. So I need this guy to be a little bit behind this guy. So let me pick here. So this is this one. So I need to be a little bit behind. So maybe this. And now I just need to fill it. Okay, so I do select none. Yes, so yeah, I will have to at some point to fill that in. Maybe I should have enable feathering of selection edges. What's the default? I don't remember. Hold on. How do you go back to the default here? Oh, there's untitled thing on the default. Maybe I should have left that, so that you don't have those things. But that's a minor detail. You can easily get rid of those. Well, I'll leave them. Okay, so let's go to the next problem. So now I need to do the rest of the pillar. So that's going to be one gradient. Okay, so I need to select the rest of the pillar. And I should be in business. Or I should have saved the selection. That's okay. I saved the first one. So, okay, so let's do the selection. Okay, so I'm gonna path to selection. Invert selection. Invert selection. And let's intersect. So I need to pick the rest of the pillar. So starting here, going here, going down here, going there. Okay. Okay, so that's the rest. And here I need to do a gradient. So between this color here, between this color and something a little bit behind. So let's do that. So the color picker, this one. And then so for the foreground and background are the same grayscale value, that is the front of the pillar, and now I'm gonna make one slightly darker. Doesn't matter which one. So slightly darker. Just a little bit. Okay, so this is my foreground, this is my background. So now I got to do the, let me reset default. Let me make sure the shape is linear. Or let me reset here, it's the reset. Okay, so shape linear. So I'm gonna go from here to there. So oh no, I got the colors. Hold on. I have to redo the colors. So let's redo that. Okay, so let's click on one. We're gonna make it slightly darker. Okay, and then it's linear, so that's good. So let's do it. Okay. Select none. Okay, so let's make sure. So this is 190. This should be similar, 190, and this should be a little bit behind. 176. Okay, so that's correct. Yeah, so if you want to fix this, it's very simple. Let's pick a color here. Let's put the brush and just do this, do that. Fixed. Okay, let's here. Yeah, you can fix it also the same way. doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter, but I'll fix it anyway. Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, so let's look at let's go back to the picture. Okay, so I have to fix this guy. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna select it. I'm gonna select this guy. Zoom 100 should be okay, I think. Yeah, let's do 200. So let's select him. Select none. Okay. So let's select him. Let's go back to. So yeah, I'm putting anti-aliasing. I don't think it matters. That's the default. So let's keep it as the default. Yeah. So you just go around this guy. You don't have to be too precise, but okay. So now I have to go back the other way. Oh, I see. Oops. A bit sloppy. Okay, done. So that's selected. So again, if you want, you can save it. So where is it? Select to path. So now it should be around here. So you say oops, sorry, this one. So the bald guy. Okay, in case you need that selection for later. Okay, so let's see what I'm gonna do here. Okay, so let's look at it. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna do everything the same value, this value. So let's pick this color. So now it's here. And I'm gonna use the bucket fill the old selection. Okay, so now it's all the same depth. So I think what you may want to do is do a little gradient here, so that what's here is in front of what's there. So we can do that. So let's do another selection. So let's do a selection, and I'm gonna do a intersection. So intersection. So I'm not gonna touch the I'm gonna start here. I'm not going to touch the head. So the head stays and I'm probably gonna maybe around here. So that's my selection. So here I'm gonna do a gradient. So okay, so this is this depth, so that's fine. So let's do the color picker for the background and pick the same color. And I just want this one of the two colors to be slightly behind. Okay. You don't want to overdo it. So those are the two colors I'm going to use for my gradient. So this is going to be the foreground, that's going to be the background. Okay, so gradient, make sure it's linear, and I'm going to go like this. Or maybe like this. Okay. So let's do a select none. So that's my if you want, you can give some roundness to the head a little bit, but it's a little bit in front. So you can do that. You just select the head and you okay, let me select the head first. I'm just gonna again okay, so the bald guy, let's do a path to selection, and I'm gonna do another intersection to get just the head. So here intersect, and I'm just gonna pick the head. Yeah, including the ears, I guess. So something like that. Okay, so now I just have the head as a selection, and now so let's get the current grayscale value on the head. Okay, so I do it for both, and then I'm just going to change one of the two. So here they are both the same. They are both the foreground, background, same grayscale value, and then I'm going to take one and I'm going to make it slightly forward. So I'll pick on it and slightly forward. So I'm at 89, I just want a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. So this is the background, this is the foreground. So now I'm going to do a gradient fill, but this time I'm going to use a shape. I think I'll use the spherical. The problem is that I can never remember which is which. So let's try. No, I think it's the other way around. Yeah, it's the other way around. I think you have to do it this way. So let's try this. Select none. Yeah, I think it's correct. So let's check. So here I'm at 90. And here I'm at 94, so I'm slightly in front. You can do it, you can do more if you want. Maybe that was not enough. Maybe I should do, just to show you. Let me undo. Let's make this one a little bit lighter, even lighter. Okay, so this is 100. It's gonna be easier to see. So gradient, shape, spherical, and you go. Okay, something like that. So let's check here. 90, 91, 90, and here you should be at 100. And it's a spherical, so it's like a sphere, which is not quite right, but okay. So let's go back and see. Let's see if we are done here. I mean, you could fix more things, like the hole here, but I think I'm gonna stop here. Okay, so let's see how it looks like in the depth layer. So let me so depth map 2, and let's see how it looks like in the depth player. So point cloud is already point cloud, yeah. Okay, so I think, okay, the fence looks correct, the pillar looks correct, I think. And the guy, the bald guy looks correct. You see the head is a little bit, has some shape to it. Yeah, that's perfect, I think. Okay, that's pretty good. Let me go into Facebook, see how it looks like. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I just posted on Facebook. Again, only visible by me. Once you're happy with it, you can change this so that it's visible to the world. Very simple to do. Okay, so now it looks correct. Yeah, I'm happy with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here, and I'm not an expert in Gimp, not at all. But all you have to know in Gimp is how to do selections and the gradient fill. Yeah, how to do a gradient fill. So you do basically you do a selection, and then you need two colors, one for the foreground, one with the background. When you do your draw that line, that's gonna do the gradient from one color to the other color. So you control those two colors using those. Whenever you have to do a gradient. Okay, so let's do a selection. Oops. Let's do a selection. Hold on. Let me reset. Okay. So let's do a selection. Okay. So that's your selection. And now I'm going to do a gradient. The problem is, so you're going to draw a line between, let's say, here to here. But so you need a color for this end and a color for that end. And that's controlled by those guys, the foreground and background color. So you click on this one. So I'm going to do black. And I'm going to switch. That's going to be my other color. And here you can choose whatever you want. If you want, you can just use the color picker, and that's going to pick you like white. Okay, and then once you're ready, you go to the gradient fill. Let me reset. So now it's a linear fill, and here I'm going to go from you can go from black to white, or you can do white to black. So this is going to go from white to black. Okay, and you can preview. That's nice. It's very simple. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to stop here. Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll try to make more videos, but you know, sometimes I'm running out of ideas. So anyway, let's see you around. Bye.